Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my videos. So, more frustration for Ole Gunnar Solsjaer. Tottenham have signed Sergio Regulion from Real Madrid for just over £27 million. This has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Tottenham have agreed the personal terms and I think he's now undergoing his medical. So, in reality, Tottenham have hijacked our move for the player because don't forget we was emerged as the favourites to sign Sergio Regulion because Fabrizio Romano and also several reports from Spain were saying that Regulion was closing in on a move to Manchester United. But the main explanation why we didn't get Regulion on the board is because of the buyout clause. We didn't want Real Madrid to insert a buyout clause in the deal. But I don't think there was any problems with the fee and there was no problems with the personal terms. But I'm actually very disappointed that we've missed out on Sergio Regulion because I said Manchester United need a left back. We have got two predominant left backs in the team at the moment, and that's obviously Luke Shaw. He's our first choice left back, but he's injury prone. And also Brandon Williams, he's our backup left back. But I really thought at one point we was going to get Regulion in. Now, obviously, there was rumours about Regulion wanting to go back to Sevilla because Regulion was on loan with Sevilla last season, where he played around 38 games in all competitions. He also had a few loan spells with the Logrones. But Regulion was at Real Madrid for several years. Obviously, he was joined their youth set up in 2005. So I think in total he was at Real Madrid for like 15 years. But we knew he was going to leave anyway because Zinedine Zidane confirmed he prefers Ferland Mendy and Marcelo ahead of Regulion. Regulion did still have a contract with Real Madrid until 2023. But it's very good news from a Tottenham perspective. And to be honest with you, Tottenham have brought some good players in this summer transfer window. They've obviously now got Regulion. Obviously, they got Joe Hart on a free. They got Holberg. They got Doherty. They got Kyle Walker-Peters. And they're also closing in on the signing of Gareth Bale. Now, I think Gareth Bale's agent has been talking with Tottenham over a loan. And I heard that Tottenham have agreed to get him on loan. Now, Gareth Bale did say he would rather leave Real Madrid permanently than go out on loan. I think Real Madrid are willing to pay half of his wages. But Bale does want to make a return to the Premier League. So it looks like, he's going to be reuniting with Tottenham. Bale, of course, did endure 6 years with Tottenham before he went to Real Madrid. So he's obviously well proven in the Premier League. Bale has been training away from the rest of the Real Madrid first team squad. So that's fueled more speculation up. But was it last summer? Bale was very close to going to the Chinese Super League because don't forget he had been offered £1 million a week, but his move to the Chinese Super League didn't materialise. I think it mentioned before that an unnamed Premier League club had put an £89 million bid in for him. But Bale has endured 7 seasons with Real Madrid. I think he scored 105 goals for them in all competitions. And he's won a total of 13 major honours, including 4 Champions Leagues. Bale's got a contract with Madrid until 2022. Don't forget Real Madrid paid £85 million for him from Tottenham. I think at that time it was a record signing. But my only element of concern about Bale is that he's obviously injury prone. I think he's just been recently recovering from a knee injury. Bale is now, by the way, 31. It says we were considering getting Bale on loan. Because obviously, we've seen him as one of our alternatives to Sancho. I heard as well that Bale could be available for just 18.5 million, but we've been in for Bale for several years, and I think Bale's been talking with Zinedine Zidane recently regarding his future. So yeah, a lot of Tottenham fans are going to be very, very delighted. Now, I just want to delve into some news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So, I think Manchester United could still sign Sancho in this summer transfer window. I'm actually not going to fully disregard it. Now, reportedly, we are willing to pay £80 million in full to sign Sancho. Now, Dortmund's valuation is £108 million, and obviously Dortmund are not going to reduce their asking price because throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, they have remained ruthless over their valuation. Now, we did say, didn't we, that we want to sign Sancho by the time we play Crystal Palace. We do play Crystal Palace on Saturday. Sancho has held several talks with Ole Gunnar Solsjaer. And I think Sancho's told Solskjaer that he wants to play for the football club. Don't forget, we said that we are concerned over the competition we will face for Sancho next year if we miss out on him in this summer transfer window. Because obviously next year, probably the likes of Madrid, Barcelona and Liverpool will even go in for him. Now, Fabrizio Romano did recently say that the personal terms and the agent fees and a contract worth 250 grand a week had all been agreed for Sancho. And he said that we had breakthrough in negotiations to sign the player. But obviously, it's saying the same sort of thing as what it said last month, because last month it said that Sancho agreed personal terms with the club and it said he was set to sign a 5-year contract with Manchester United. But we've already made it clear that we are not giving up on the signing of the player. But it did say, was it last month, that we had abandoned our chase for the player until the summer of 2021. Obviously, last month, Dortmund said to us that we had until the 10th of August to sign Sancho. Obviously, we missed out on that deadline, so Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. Mike Phelan, who's our assistant, he said that Man United could be closing in on a deal for the player because Mike Phelan's been recently following Jadon Sancho on Instagram. But I've already outlined the reasons why I want Sancho at Manchester United is because he's got a very good friendship with Rashford. I think he will exceed expectations in the Premier League, and he's predominantly a right winger, and he is only at the age of 20. Sancho has enjoyed 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund only paid £8 million in from Man City, and he's still got a contract with Dortmund till 2022. The main explanation Sancho left Manchester City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities. Don't forget Lucien Favre, who's Borussia Dortmund's boss. He said that he's confident that Sancho will stay at Dortmund this season. Sebastian Kell, their sporting director, also said that Sancho will stay at Dortmund this season. We know that he will be our next number 7 if he comes in, like I've said several times before, because he'd full number 7 well, and at this moment in time, we have got number 7 vacant. But like I've said to Dortmund have let quite a few of their big names go in recent years. They let Aubameyang go, they let Pulisic go, they let Ilkay Gundogan go, Mkhitaryan, Ousmane Dembele, Matt Hummels, Robert Lewandowski. So yeah. So Sancho to Manchester United is still a possibility, but all we need to do is come to an agreement on a fee. Now, I think the board are to blame for the failures of transfers. I think Solskjaer is totally blameless in all of this. And Solskjaer has publicly admitted that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window if we are to compete with the likes of City, Liverpool, and perhaps Chelsea now. But he is progressing as Manchester United manager, and I don't feel as though Solskjaer's getting backed enough, and I think he deserves more backing at the football club. Because obviously Woodward has said quite a few times that he's determined to back Solskjaer. The Glazers have said quite a few times that they're determined to back Solskjaer. But like I said, there's been so many players on our agenda. But we've been very critical of the board for several years in general, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've also overpaid for players, we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years. That's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent, because I think a lot of the players we've brought in the last 7 years haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. Also, too, there's some players we've given contracts to who we shouldn't have given contracts to. And, we spent nearly £1 billion in the last 7 years. I think also, too, the managers we've had since Ferguson retired, they've not been backed enough. But, Solskjaer has recently been very infuriated with the board of the lack of transfer business. There's like 3 weeks left, or just under 3 weeks left until this summer transfer window shuts. And we've only made one signing at the moment, and that was Donny van de Beek from Ajax. Don't get me wrong, he's a very, very good signing, but Solskjaer said he wants 3 more signings after Donny van de Beek. But, Solskjaer recently gave us an update on our transfer plans, and he said, that we are still active in this transfer market and we are still looking to make more signings. But you can see that Solskjaer's trying to change the culture of the club, and he's trying to obviously improve the squad, because there's still key areas where Man United are lacking. But we've missed out on a few players now under Solskjaer, haven't we? We missed out on Haaland in January. We missed out on Jude Bellingham. Now we've missed out on Sergio Regulion. We've obviously missed out on Jack Grealish, like he updated you this morning. Jack Grealish has recently just signed a 5-year deal with Aston Villa to keep him under contract at Villa Park till 2025. And he's been given a significant pay rise, and he's got a bigger buyout clause. Villa said, didn't they, they wanted around 80 million for Grealish, but I don't think we wanted to pay £80 million for him anyway. This summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And, there's teams around us as well that are recruiting very, very well. And that's another one of my element of concern. Look at Chelsea. They've done fantastic business so far. They've brought the likes of Ziyech in, Timo Werner, Ben Chilwell, Kai Havertz, Malang Sarr, Thiago Silva, Mendy. Chelsea's priority is to get a goalkeeper to replace Kepa Arrizabalaga. They're obviously trying to get Declan Rice on the board. Liverpool, they've only made one signing so far. They got to Sikmas. And they're obviously still trying to get Thiago. Man City, they signed Nathan Ake and Ferran Torres. Arsenal, they got Gabriel Magalhaes and Willian. Leeds United, they've made a few signings. And like I mentioned, Tottenham have made some good signings. But, there's quite a few things that Manchester United have got to do. We've obviously got to make more signings. We've obviously got to sell players in this summer transfer window. But we are struggling to offload our fringe players. We need to sell players because obviously there's still deadwood at the club, and obviously if we sell players as well, we'll generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. We're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard, we're looking to get rid of Andres Pereira, we're looking to get rid of Delors, we're looking to get rid of Smalling, Rojo, Jones, Sergio Romero. He's open to leaving the football club. Romero is now our 3rd choice goalkeeper, and Romero's not going to want to stay at Man United when he is 3rd choice goalkeeper. Like I said, Solskjaer has got a goalkeeping decision to make. I think David De Gea will remain number 1 for this season, But I think Solskjaer needs to put Dean Henderson as number one, because I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number one goalkeeper, because he has got that experience behind him, because he recently endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United, and we got Dean Henderson at just the age of 14. So he has been part of the club for several years. Not so long ago, Dean Henderson signed a 6-year deal with Man United worth 120 grand a week. But I just feel as though now David De Gea is too much of a liability, because in the last couple of years he's made calamitous mistakes. David De Gea's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been at Man United. This season is going to be David De Gea's 10th season at the football club. Obviously, we know that Solskjaer's made his decision on Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is going to remain Manchester United captain this season. Obviously, this season's going to be Harry Maguire's 2nd season at Manchester United. Last season was his 1st season at the club. We got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. So he's the 2nd most expensive sign at the club at the moment, and the most expensive centre-half in the world. Maguire was given extra time off recently with obviously his arrest in Greece and his court case in Greece. But so far at the football club, Solskjaer has spent over £200 million. Obviously, he's brought like 6 senior players in. So obviously last summer he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January he brought Bruno Fernandes, and obviously brought Odion Ighalo in on loan. Odion Ighalo was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season, and just after lockdown we extended Odion Ighalo's loan till January 2021. And we recently signed Donny van der Beek in this summer transfer window. But Solskjaer's also brought a few academy players into the football club. So it's good that, we're bringing more young players in, and there's a lot of good young players that are coming through at Manchester United. Solskjaer has set out a challenge for our academy players to replicate the likes of Mason Greenwood and Brandon Williams and all of that. But Solskjaer believes like James Garner, Tiedemann Menge, Hannibal Mergebry. He believes they've all got bright futures at Manchester United. But I like the way Solskjaer's promoted the youth. I really, really do. Because since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over the reins at Manchester United in December 2018, he said he wanted to promote young, homegrown talent. We've obviously had to loan a few young players out because they was finding game time very, very difficult at Manchester United. So there you go. But like I said, Solskjaer has been at Manchester United now over a year and a half. Last season was obviously his 1st full season at the football club. And to be honest with you, did exceed most of his expectations. The only expectation he didn't exceed was winning any silverware. But, last season progressed to 3 semi-finals, got to the FA Cup semi-final, the Europa League semi-final and the EFL Cup semi-final. We also got qualification for the Champions League, and I said how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players in for the financial structure, and we also finished 3rd. But obviously, you wouldn't have thought last season Solskjaer would have exceeded any expectations, because at the first part of last season, we endured our worst start ever to a Premier League season, and at that point, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was under serious pressure at the football club. I actually thought he was going to end up getting sacked. And, there was obviously talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. But I outlined the reasons why Solskjaer did not get sacked as Man United, because obviously we did go on a 19-game unbeaten run. We are still unbeaten in the league since January, so we are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. The sign of Bruno Fernandes also saved Solskjaer's job, because Bruno Fernandes had made the difference in the team since he came in from Sporting Lisbon. I think with Solskjaer also being a club legend as well, that obviously played a part in it, because he was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Ferguson's guidance. But this season is Solskjaer's 2nd full season at the club. And if we don't make any more signings in this summer transfer window, then maybe our expectations this season will be just to finish in the top 4 so we can get qualification for the Champions League. I think another one of the expectations this season will be to win a trophy, because we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years, and we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solsjaer era. If we could make a few more signings, then maybe we'll be expected to challenge for the Premier League title this season. We won't win the title this season. I don't think we're going to win the title for at least the next couple of years. I went through with you what Man United need to do if there's any chances of us, winning the title. Obviously, we've got to make at least 5 signings in the summer transfer window. Obviously, we're not going to do that. Like I've said, there's still certain players that have got to step up to the plate at Man United. But, we have not won the Premier League since 2013. So we haven't won it for 7 years. We haven't marked any title challenge up in the last 7 years. Obviously, we've got Crystal Palace on Saturday. It is the opening day. Well, it is our opening game of the Premier League season. I'm not going to take anything for granted, but you should think Manchester United will win against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace got off to a good start in the Premier League. They're beating Southampton by 1-0 recently. But they recently got knocked out of the Carabao Cup against Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth did beat them 11-10 on penalties. The game against Man United and Palace last season at Old Trafford was 2-1 to Palace, and that was Crystal Palace's first win at Old Trafford in the league since 1989. So that's 31 years ago. But we did beat them at Selhurst Park towards the end of last season by 2-0. By the way, I heard that we could be without 11 players for this game on Saturday against Crystal Palace. I've got to also say as well, Solsjaer has got 4 selection dilemmas for the game on Saturday. Obviously, goalkeepers one. Who's he going to put in net, Dean Henson or David De Gea? I think it'll be De Gea. Who's going to go alongside Harry Maguire in our back line? Probably Lindelof, but there's obviously other options as well. Could Bailly go there? Tuanzebe is obviously not available. He's injured. Phil Jones has just come back, but I don't think he will be available for the game. It probably, more than likely will be Victor Lindelof. Midfield composition. Who's going to go in the midfield? I heard that Paul Pogba probably won't be available because Solskjaer said he's going to be out for this game, because obviously Paul Pogba has just recently recovered from coronavirus, but he was in training not so long ago. I heard that we could play Paul Pogba out of position, so we could get Donny van de Beek in there. On Saturday, will Donny van de Beek be making his Premier League debut for Man United? We did play Aston Villa in pre-season recently, and we lost by 1-0, and there was 7 of our first team regulars that didn't play in that game, and I think that was De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Greenwood, Anthony Martial. So there you go. Will Mason Greenwood be available for Saturday? That's another question. There's been a few issues with Mason Greenwood recently. I think he inhaled laughing gas or something like that, I heard. Mason Greenwood was also withdrawn from the England squad by Gareth Southgate for taking girls back to the team hotel, so was Phil Foden. Mason Greenwood's been training alone recently, I want to confirm, but don't forget we recently gave Mason Greenwood the number 11. He's going to become the 4th Manchester United player to wear the number 11 shirt. If we don't start Mason Greenwood on the right on Saturday, then maybe Daniel James could play there. Luke Shaw's obviously available because he just recently recovered from an ankle injury, has Luke Shaw. So it's going to be interesting to see how he approaches the game. Palace, I think, have actually got up to 7 injuries. I think Palace have got Christian Benteke out. They've got Connor Wickham out. They've got Gary Cahill out. They've got James Tompkins out. They've got Nathan Ferguson out. They've got Patrick Van Aanholt out. I heard that they've got Saku out as well. So they've got quite a few injuries of Crystal Palace. I think one of their players has just recently had that virus. Probably one of Crystal Palace's best players is Wilfried Zaha. Can't believe how good he's done for them. And Wilfried Zaha is a former Manchester United player. But obviously had to leave us because he never really got his opportunities. And currently Roy Hodgson is Crystal Palace's manager. You know, I'm actually shell-shocked at Roy Hodgson still managing. You know, he's in his 70s now. I think he's managed like 16 teams in his career as Roy Hodgson. I can't remember them all, obviously. He's obviously at Crystal Palace now at this present time. You know, he's managed Liverpool before. He's managed Fulham. He's managed West Brom. He's managed Grasshoppers. He's managed Blackburn. He's managed Dundenees. Managed England under-21s as well, didn't he? Also, I think managed Bristol when he was younger. Yeah. But very, very imperative that we do win that game on Saturday. If things are to go wrong this season, then Ole Gunnar Solsjaer could be under pressure at Manchester United. If things are to go right this season, then maybe more Man United fans will be convinced that Solskjaer's the right manager, and we could even extend his contract. As it stands at the moment, I think Solskjaer's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option. He's got just under 2 years left on his current contract, sorry, there is no option of a further year. But at minimum, he will see out his contract. He will see out his contract. But yeah, there's a lot of players I would still keep at Manchester United. You know, definitely keep Martial, keep Rashford, keep Greenwood, keep Williams. Obviously keep the signing Solskjaer's made. Keep Paul Pogba. Keep Matic, keep Fred, keep McTominay. Keep Lindelof for at least another season. Keep Bay for at least another season. I think Mata, he will stay with us for at least another season. De Gea, he will stay with us for another season at least. So yeah. But like I've said to you, in the last 7 years, Manchester United have been playing catch-up because obviously we've had different managers with different philosophies. You know, we spent close to the £1 billion range on players and all of that. In the entirety of our history, we've won 45 trophies. You know, 38 of them trophies came under Sir Alex Ferguson. So the vast majority of our success came under Ferguson, but we've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson retired, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.